Good evening, everyone. Mary Esther Miranda Gilbert here, nutritional physiologist, nutritional healing specialist, speaker, educator, writer. And today or tonight, I would like to discuss a little bit about the marketing ploys, about how a lot of unqualified advice regarding not only nutrition, but also about restoring the body and regenerating the body and helping the body heal itself. And that includes the supplement industry. So, what is a pet peeve of mine is when someone gets up on an infomercial and leads the viewer through this long, drawn out sales process. We all have been there, right? We're curious about something and we'll click on something, and it takes us through this long, drawn out presentation, only to find that at the end, they're trying to sell you supplements that they don't provide the ingredients for. They don't usually provide the process or where the ingredients come from or whether they're organic, which nowadays, if you don't have an organic supplement, chances are you're consuming synthetic supplements or ingredients that can be potentially allergenic or inflammatory. So there are a lot of shoddy type of companies still out there. You would think that in this day and age, after the industry has been around for quite a while, that companies would be a little more responsible. But there are still a lot of products out there that are just either redundant or incomplete. Why buy a supplement with only one or two ingredients in it, known, of course, by science to be beneficial? However, when one takes one ingredient out of a product or out of a plant, I should say, then it's not going to perform the same way in the human body as it does when it is part of a whole food, which has many nutrients in it, and they all act in synergy. So the body recognizes more complex molecules from whole foods or the botanical, plant kingdom. So when a company opts to take out only certain ingredients, then it's not going to behave the same. It's not going to be treated the same in the body at all. So a lot of times what I've found in a lot of these infomercials is that when you finally look up the product on their website, if they indeed give you the website, and if they indeed, provide the ingredients, that's what I zero in on every time. I just hone in on just tell me what's in it, give me the ingredients, then I'll be able to determine whether it's worth buying or not. So many times I've seen how so-called experts with so-called credentials and performing so-called, scientific research. A lot of times it's in-house scientists that are hired to, make sure that there's a specific outcome to sell the product. So that is not science. You need a peer-reviewed study on a particular botanical that's been done over time by many different groups of scientists and even all over the world, and compiled into one report, peer-reviewed by industry, or I should say not industry, but scholarly, approaches to reviewing this data and putting it all together by summarizing through just choosing the most credible studies that are done in any botanical. So when a botanical is used, either concentrated extracts from all the plant materials, the phytonutrient compounds in the materials, or if it's just the whole food, or the whole plant, or part of the plant, like the leaves or the stems or the roots kinds of things. So it all depends, there's different potencies depending on what part of the plant is in the supplement, and also how the plant was grown, in what environment. Was it a nutrient-rich environment? Was it a non-toxic environment? Were there pesticides involved, kind of thing. So, choosing a supplement is so very important to know what to look for. However, getting back to, all these sales pitches you see online or on television, you've got to get the ingredients, look at the ingredients and see if it's just one or two supplements, and, just check out those ingredients. And if it's only a few only a few ingredients, then what you do is just look it up online and type the words science journal right after your search phrase so that you get the research, the true scientific research, the legitimate studies that are known throughout the scientific community all over the world to be the most credible. Okay, so it's really is a pet peeve, and I think I'll turn this into a mini series because I'll start jotting down every time I see an infomercial, then I'll just have to let that presentation run. Of course, I'll be multitasking. I've seen so many of these, and I'm so disgusted that they're selling something that they purport to be so vital to your health when actually your body either makes the ingredient itself, like an organic acid, or even part of a biochemical process in the body that the body makes automatically itself. So often I find that to be true in a lot of these nutritional supplements that are sold through non-qualified advisors. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out and let you know that these are forthcoming. Some more of this kind of information will be forthcoming. I'll pick maybe 3. I won't name the company. I won't name the person who is trying to sell you this. I will just point out the shortcoming. That's all I've done. I've done this for my clients for the last 45 years, and I continue to do them currently for people. I analyze companies, I analyze their ingredients, and I analyze their processes. And I ask the questions, where did the materials come from? Are they organically grown? Even when are they harvested? During certain times of the year, during certain times of the day? That depends. That determines how potent an ingredient is, a botanical is for an ingredient. Okay, so I just wanted to announce that be careful what you're buying out there. You're better off just selecting an organic, whole food, multi-nutrient supplement. That way you know that it's highly absorbable by the body. And right now I'm only advocating a couple of supplement lines. I endorse products once in a while, and I've been working with a particular company recently whose products are completely 100% absorbable, and they carry different formulations that they just contain many botanicals in them. And I've done the research. I've produced a book on it, Potent Superfoods for Lifelong True Health, and I'll put that link in the bottom of this description here. But anyhow, I just it just frustrates me that these products are being sold and the innocent public is purchasing them, and then they're not getting the results. So some of these supplements I have found over the years, some of these ingredients are better off not taking at all, because they can have some side effects, not adverse, health-threatening side effects usually, at least not 99% of the time. They won't have those kinds of, hazardous side effects. But there have been supplements in the past that irresponsible companies or individuals have formulated, and without doing their scientific research, especially their safety. There's always safety in whole foods. There's always safety in organic products. So especially if they throw in active enzymes in the products, and you just want to match your supplements as close to your whole foods as you can. Okay, so those of you who don't know who I am, if someone referred you to this, or you happen to be upon my video, I'll just give you a quick rundown of who I am. So back in 1979, I was in my 20s, and I decided I wanted to be a nutritionist. So I embarked on these college courses. Of course, working full time, I could only go to school part time. So over the years, I stretched out my efforts at getting my credentials, and I even took time out to have children, and all sorts of things disrupted, my goal of becoming a nutritionist. But today, I'm so much more than a nutritionist. I'm a nutritional physiologist, because I've actually, through all the 3 different credentials that I've earned, a bachelor's and a couple of, a master's and a couple of bachelors, I've learned quite a bit about what it means to nourish the body. However, I did not really learn how to heal the body through nutrition. And it wasn't until I enrolled in a holistic college that I realized that I'd been missing all of that whole aspect of nutrition from the traditional, clinical dietetics curriculum, and then later a nutrition science curriculum. But holistic nutrition is really where it's at. And that's the college that actually taught me to do more scientific research, to dig into the scientific literature and pull out all the peer-reviewed studies done on any particular nutrient or botanical. So it's through the holistic approach to nutrition that I learned more about the human body and about one's own nutritional physiology. Okay, so years ago I had to create my own title because I had to dig and talk to counselors and tell them what I wanted to do. My grandfather was an MD, and he actually healed a lot of his patients by using the botanical medicines that the Native Americans taught him how to use. So he learned a lot about the difference between applying a drug and hiding a symptom and just subduing symptoms versus truly doing the repair work at the cell level, and therefore, you know, uh, returning the cells in the body to normal functioning, and therefore healing the condition, right? So, and over the years, all of the research that I've done, over 45 years now, and continue to do so, I continue to learn just how the human body utilizes nutrients. So this is the kind of thing that I've kind of evolved into teaching. So when I compare the nutrition dietetics curriculum in the typical colleges, they're just not teaching how to utilize, nutrients, and especially the plant kingdom, this vast plant kingdom that has undergone tremendous deep research and produced the very overwhelming and compelling evidence that botanicals do perform very well in the body as far as returning the body back to normal. Okay, so this is what I've been doing for the last 45 years, and I just wanted to let you know that I feel like I am pretty well qualified uh, after teaching and educating, and seeing how in my clients over the years, how the medicines, the botanical medicines or the phytonutrient compounds, if you want to get really specific, in these plants, thousands of compounds that act on different systems in the body and help return the body back to normal, optimal health vibrancy. So yeah, this is something that the public needs to understand and not be afraid of, because when you look up the side effects of any medical drug, you will see the horrific side effects. And that's what I've run into over and over again. So, whenever I received a client early on in my career, I would just go into the scientific literature and devise or compile a nutritional protocol that, based on the science, peer-reviewed scientific research, that would always work, so the science matched the results. And that's how I learned to base everything that I teach on this science, and also not to discredit the years, or I should say thousands of years, of indigenous use of botanical medicines, and have been very carefully, observed and documented through the ages. Some of these materia medicas, these medical books based on botanical medicines, still exist today and are still being updated today, because now that the science has confirmed that the indigenous healers throughout time have actually didn't know what they were talking about. They very carefully and meticulously documented. So that is very strong empirical evidence. So when the empirical evidence and the scientific research, peer-reviewed studies, and the results of my clients all match, that is a great triad, right? So when you're looking up something for yourselves, make sure that you type in the search phrase scientific journal after your search phrase, okay? And that way you'll bypass all of the non-qualified advice, incomplete advice, and even be able to recognize whether someone is only trying to sell you something. I wanted to just show you an article before I close, and I just wanted to read you a little something, if you don't mind, okay? I'll let you read along with me. I'm sure you don't want to just keep staring at my face. So let me share my screen, and then we can go over that. All righty. So this was an article that Consumer Reports, of all places, wrote an article about whether a doctor is qualified to sell supplements, or if it's even ethical for a doctor to sell supplements to his patients or her patients. All right, so the title, this was written back in April of 2011. So that was 13 years ago, but it still stands true today. So the article was called Your Doctor as a Salesman. Okay, so I'm going to skip the first paragraph. It just talks about some, personal experience that the author is relaying to the reader of someone that they knew. But here's what I really want to read is just a clear conflict. In the past, it was widely considered unthinkable for a physician to sell or even promote health products. But some doctors seeking extra income have turned to side businesses selling nutritional supplements, often out of their own offices. While it's not clear how many healthcare professionals engage in this practice, a survey published in 2010 by the Nutrition Business Journal, a trade publication of 600 medical doctors, naturopathic physicians, chiropractors, nutritionists, and other practitioners, revealed that 76% sell supplements in the office. Okay, pause. Now, it's not so unethical if they're selling supplements that actually are highly nutritious and highly bioavailable or highly absorbable in the body, right? Down to the cell level. If those nutrients in those supplements can enter through the cell membrane and enter the inner universe of the cell where true health or the disease process happens, then I'm all for it. As long as they will provide the absolute best nutrients and absolute best ingredients for the best price possible. You're not there to make a ton of money off of the innocent public and the innocent trusting public. Okay, that's what really gets me. So I have built a very strong reputation over these past 45 or 46, 47 years. I don't know, the years are just passing by. But I want to continue my reputation of people knowing that when I present something to them, they know it's going to work, because that's how much research I do. I make sure that I am, balancing all three of those triads. How long have these botanicals been in use? And of course, why use only one chemical from a plant when you can use the whole synergy of the whole entire plant? That's how God made this plant kingdom, so that our bodies can pick and choose and immediately recognize and purpose, repurpose it or utilize it directly. It just has to be in a much more holistic way, rather than isolating something and then having your poor system trying to figure out what to do with it, right? It's just so incomplete, and so much is missing, so it cannot carry out its complete biological process to improve how your system works. So anyway, I just wanted to go off on that little tangent there. But but sometimes doctors or other people, other practitioners, even other holistic health practitioners and other modalities, they they go along with the sales, and they pick a supplement that sounds good, and maybe they do their scientific research, but I know that's not that common. Hopefully it's becoming more and more common as we all get more and more knowledgeable, as we share information. But as far as I can tell, those infomercials are still being cranked out, and those ingredients are still pretty inadequate and very misleading for the public. Okay, a couple more paragraphs. We don't know what percentage of the respondents were MDs as opposed to alternative care practitioners, but that remarkable figure does suggest that a significant number of mainstream medical professionals are now vying for a share of the $26.7 billion a year U.S. supplement market. Now, that was 13 years ago, and I'm sure that has increased dramatically. Indeed, industry analysts predict that healthcare practitioners could be among the fastest growing sales channels for supplements over the next decade. Selling supplements might yield a handsome profit for some doctors, but having a financial stake in promoting any health product to patients represents a serious conflict of interest. It subverts the responsibility of physicians to place their patients' interests before their own opportunity for financial gain. It also places undue pressure on the patient, especially if the pitch is aggressive, and it can erode trust in the doctor, as was the case with my friend, says the author. For those reasons, the American Medical Association advises that physicians who distribute non-prescription health products provide them free or at their own cost. That removes the temptation of personal profit that can interfere with the physician's objective clinical judgment. Now, there's so many holes with that last sentence that, I don't even want to go there. My channel would be taken down if I went there. So those of you who have been watching my channel and following, my system and reading my books know what I'm talking about. But hopefully, the medical profession will merge with true nutritional physiologists and naturopaths, physicians, and everyone will have the patient or client's best interest at heart. Right now, unfortunately, it isn't. So, wanting to get on the bandwagon of selling supplements, just do your homework, practitioners, do your scientific research, and learn as much as you can about nutritional physiology. Most of you out there haven't had the 45 years of not only, the traditional and holistic education, but years and years of scientific research, diving into the scientific literature and reviewing the peer-reviewed studies on specific botanicals or nutrients. So, I've compiled nutritional healing protocols for all manner of ailments based on those three triads. So I don't think anyone else out there is doing that. And if they are, they're pretty rare because I've been around for a very long time. I've seen the nutrition and, supplements industry grow and evolve, producing better and better products. However, I have only, after searching, and giving up a supplement that I've advocated to a better one as years have gone by, right? So I do definitely always am on the lookout for better and better supplements. I wrote a book on how to select nutritional supplements based on the years of analyzing ingredients in supplements. I've recommended to companies, what to put in their ingredients. I know the FDA laws inside and out, what you can and cannot say as a non-medical doctor. So yeah, there's a lot to learn out there. And you practitioners, if you want me to do a webinar for you all, I'd be happy to do that. I really need to have more practitioners understand why whole foods and whole food organic supplements, whole organic foods and whole organic supplements are the best bet as far as helping your clients or patients, truly recover from their health issues. Okay. So, again, that's just, if you haven't seen my videos that I put on this channel so far, please do so because it will fill you in on all the gaps that I'm kind of glossing over right now. It's, I just wanted to make this a short video, but I just wanted to point out, ultimately that be careful what you're buying out there. Check out the ingredients. And, if you want to know more about how to do that, then you can actually buy my book. I didn't think I was going to sell my book right now, but I just wanted to just really make everyone be aware of what's out there, and not be wasting your money on different supplements. Clients used to bring boxes of supplements to me, a big box full of supplements and whatnot. And I would ask them to bring their drugs too, because we would look up together on the Medline website their side effects. Sometimes their health ailments were because of the side effects. So, medical doctors don't have any training compared to my 45 years of research and education and study and experience in practice, seeing the results. So doctors are very, very limited in their knowledge about that. And I don't think it's a good idea for them to find one ingredient from reading one study, and not even from a peer-reviewed study, just one or two studies, and say, oh, these scientists found this particular nutrient factor works great for such and such an ailment. So they put it in, they formulate a supplement, and they, make this the be all and end all to solving people's health issues. And that doesn't work that way. The human body is much more intricate and much more complex about how it utilizes, groups, holistic approaches to, these very, very large molecules that are very intricate and very, very detailed. The body knows how to take them apart and read the DNA from the plants and to utilize them at the cell level. So there's a lot more to the human body than meets the eye, right? But yeah, just if you haven't done so, feel free to review the videos on this channel. It'll educate you, and it will provide you with more knowledge than a lot of others out there, and even a lot of other practitioners out there. So I'm going to share, I think I'm screen sharing. Yes, I am. All right, so here's my website, and this is just my about page. However, the books that I just mentioned are very important, So particularly the one that we've been talking about right now is the How to Select the Right Supplements. So I would recommend that book right away to people who want to know more about what ingredients to look for in a supplement. And also, just getting to know the human body and your own nutritional physiology, the nutritional synergy system that I put together is actually 14 categories of choosing a whole array of different foods in the right nutritional balance to give the body everything it needs to actually heal itself and to correct itself, And I wrote this I was in the bodybuilding world, and I've been a martial artist for many years, and I've worked with many athletes, including cross-country athletes, as their nutrition coach. So, I just put together this book for those who want to stay lean, have lean body mass, and reduce body fat and be strong and healthy, and not overtrain and be able to recuperate from training. And it works very, very well for those who want to maintain their body weight. So you don't have to be a super athlete to enjoy and benefit from this book. If you combine this book with the Nutritional Synergy book, then you will have the equivalent of a college degree, on being able to manage your health and not worry about your health at all. Okay. And then I wrote this book for the public. It started out for a group of representatives of a particular company, which I still teach them about nutrition, about ingredients, and the health benefits of botanicals in their formulation. So I've done this for a couple of other companies before, but I wrote this book and then I revised it because the FDA was kind of, frowning on it, saying, well, you make sure you don't make any medical claims and all this and that. But I wrote the book in full compliance, and I understand the FDA laws. I've dealt with them for many decades. And so this book is fully compliant, and it does not make medical claims. However, it's very strong on the scientific research. So throughout the whole entire book, I cite peer-reviewed scientific studies for over 109 botanicals. So if you really want to delve into these 109 botanicals and understand what they do for the body and how your body can heal and heal itself, return itself to normal from a huge variety of conditions, know that it has been very well researched and very well backed by the scientific literature. Okay, so going back to the first book I ever wrote, I kind of, this is kind of a summary of who I am, my journey, as to how I became as qualified as I am. The research and the results speak for itself when it comes to my client successes. So True Health Mastery is also a very good book to begin with if you want to be introduced to everything that I have found in being able to help people get well, through what your body understands, and that is nourishment, cellular nourishment, and that's the only thing that will heal you and return your body back to normal. So prevention is the best way to not allow your body to deteriorate into the disease process. However, if you find yourself that way, if you from here on out practice the holistic synergy that I have created for people and perfected over time, then your body has no choice but to return itself back toward the optimal health vibrancy that you deserve. Okay. All right. So I'll end that for tonight. Thank you so much for stopping by. So I will put the links down below, the Consumer Report article. I always do that. And I will put my links below for the Holistic Choices website. And if you'd like to know anything more about me, then fill out the contact form on my website. All right. So again, Mary Esther Miranda Gilbert signing off. Good night, and hopefully I'll see you again. Please like, share, and subscribe, and help me get the word out to people so that this video will appear to more people. We need a healthier humanity, and this is the only way to do it. We have to awaken ourselves and activate more of our dormant DNA in order to be more enlightened human beings and live up to our higher health potential. Thank you so much. Good night.